Hey, what's going on? You just tuned in with Full Court Entertainment Podcast. As always, it's your boy Shondell GQ Tuesday, and I got my main man with me, Sam, Sneaky Sam. Don't trust him because he always pulling shicey trades in the fantasy league. So we finna just go on here and hop into this man standings for the East and the West. I'm gonna go on here and just go first then, man. I'm gonna start off with the East. So I'm gonna just run through this list. I got the Celtics at number one, Bucks at two, 76ers at three, Heat at four, Cavs at five, Pacers at six, Knicks at seven, Bulls at eight, Hawks at nine, Nets at 10. That's that play-in spot right there. So what you got, Bracken, man, for your East?
Uh, so for the East, I got the Celtics at one, Bucks at two, the Cavs at three, Sixers at four, the Knicks at five, Hawks at six, Heat at seven, Nets at eight, Bulls at nine, Pacers at 10, and then for the bottom five, I got Magic at 11, Raptors at 12, Hornets 13, Pistons 14, and the Wizards 15.
Oh shit, God dang, you went all the way in ranking them boys. I ain't gonna hold our list don't really differ that much. It sounds like we got like the same 1 through 10 play-in playoff spot the whole time though. I feel like the East didn't really change too much. Like the only, I think for me the biggest difference is probably like maybe the Heat because the Heat had a real. They're usually a good team during the season, but last season they didn't have a good season. But they usually rank pretty well. So and then the Pacers because Tyrese Halliburton he missed a lot of games too. So I do think he plays more games. So that does change the Heat and Pacers. But I do think though, like pretty much the standings in the East, it doesn't change too much because you Dame, even him joining the Bucks was already 1 and 2 Celtics. So it's like it doesn't change. Celtics still gonna be 1 and 2. So either way, you know what I'm saying? I don't think the East changed too much. Maybe the Bulls. I think the Bulls actually do something this season. It seemed like they got a little bit more chemistry I've seen from their preseason games.
That team is the same. They didn't do anything. What did they do? Like, what
Uh,
did the Bulls do to get better?
they all grew their hair out, got braids now.
They didn't do anything. It's the same team, bro. That
Mm-hmm.
that's why they're at ninth. Cause I'm like, bro, they still got their three best players, but it's like, did you improve your team? No. Did you get your team weaker? Not really, but you still didn't get no pieces that could potentially get better. They're in no man's land, as
Yeah.
always. Uh, I wanted to actually put the Magic in there, but I think the Nets and are actually I think they're better. I think they are better than the Magic. But if anything, I don't know what the records are going to look like, but the Magic might be close to the play. I think they'll be closer to a playing spot than not being close to a playing spot.
Yeah. I think it's all gonna come down to like France and Paulo. I think hopefully Paulo doesn't have a sophomore slump. Typically players do have a sophomore slump. But it's gonna come down to those two really. But I do think though the Bulls, honestly, it just all just falls back to like they didn't expect that injury with Lonzo to like that's it's been like what 3 years I want to say with Lonzo on his knee. So
This
that
is
kind of
his this is last year of his deal,
yeah,
so he has really been 3 years and a half
yeah,
that he's been
because
hurt.
yeah, that really derailed their plans. I think honestly with Lonzo, DeMar, Zach, Vooch, they still would have been like maybe a second round bounce, potential third EFC. We probably would have seen it maybe one time. I don't think they would have been getting smacked like they usually been. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. The East is the East, man. It ain't too much changed over there. It's still them big dogs over there. You still got to run through the Celtics, Bucks, or Heat. That's it.
I ain't care. I ain't scared of no Heat, bro.
You ain't got to be scared of them, but they definitely gonna test you. But
Yeah, I don't
go
know
ahead.
about
You
that.
start with the West then.
All right, so with the West, number one, I got the Nuggets. I think they'll still be the top dog. Got to respect them, champions. So yeah, Nuggets at one. Number two, I got the Suns. I feel like the Suns made a lot of good additions. People be sleeping on like the Eric Gordon addition. You traded for Nurkic to get rid of DeAndre Ayton, Grayson Allen. So I feel like they made their bench way better as long as and them three, it's gonna be hard to stop them three, honestly. So Suns at two. Uh, I got the Lakers at three. As long as LeBron 80 is healthy and if Austin Reeves can recreate what he did last year, and they definitely got better with the Gabe Vincent, Torian Prince, and all them acquisitions and re-signing Rui and D'Lo. They still got a really good team. So I got them at three. Number four, I win with the Clippers because I feel like if they're healthy, they're a championship contender. But obviously, we don't know what's gonna happen with them. But as long as Kawhi, Paul George is healthy, and Westbrook comes back for another year, he played really good last year. I think they could be a top four seed. Number five, I have the Warriors. As long as you got Steph, championship window is open. You got Steph, Clay, Draymond, Wiggins, and the addition of Chris Paul. Not gonna lie, Chris Paul hasn't looked that bad, but I still hope he comes off the bench. I don't want him to start, me personally. But I got the Warriors at five. Number six, I have the Timberwolves because I feel like last year we didn't see a lot of the Cat and Rudy Gobert combo, and I have Anthony Edwards taking the next step. I think he is the best shooting guard in the league. So as long as if Cat can stay healthy, they are I feel like a top team, and Jaden McDaniels is supposed to take another step too. So I have the Timberwolves at six. Number seven, I have the Kings. I feel like this is the regression year for the Kings. Honestly, I think they'll still be good, but do I think they'll be third in the West? No, I do not. But did they technically get better this offseason? Not really. They really brought everybody back, same amount of players. So, but as long as De'Aaron Fox and Bonus play at that All Star level, they'll be a playoff. They could potentially make the playoffs, but they'll be a. But as of right now, I got them at playing at seven. Number eight, I have the Pelicans. Same thing, kind of with the Clippers. If Zion's healthy, they're a really good team. He is the engine. He can't be stopped, honestly. If he stays healthy, they're up there. BI, if he can stay healthy, they're up there. They got a really good team. So I have the Pelicans at eight. Number nine, I have the Mavericks. The Mavericks, I actually like their team, but it's just something about them. I feel like Kyrie and Luka can't lead. I feel like they just can't lead them to an actual playoff spot. But if Kyrie does what he does, Luka plays at an all NBA level, they can definitely make a play in. Number 10, I have the Grizzlies. 20, I don't know what's gonna happen with how the Grizzlies are gonna play with Ja being out for 25 games, but they did trade for Marcus Smart, and I skeptical on their wing depth because they're gonna have Desmond Bain playing the three, and he's a little big dude, but he ain't the tallest and big enough to play to like guard up against like a real small floor. But I think Desmond Bain will have a good year, and I think they can sneak in once Ja comes back. At number 11, I actually have the Thunder, Shea, Chad, Giddy, all them young players. I think they'll have a good year, but it won't be enough to make a playing spot. Number 12, I have the Rockets. Rockets did make some good additions, but I feel like I always said this isn't their year to make it. I think the next year will be the year we really see the growth of this team and they could potentially make a playing spot. Number 13, I have the Jazz. The Jazz, they shocked a lot of people last year being competitive in the beginning, then kind of falling back down to earth in the middle of the end of the season. So yeah, I think they'll be a regression year, but I think they'll win about 30 some games. Number 14, I have the Blazers. Blazers actually got some good young players, but it's not good enough to fight for a playing spot. They'll be at the bottom, as per usual. Number 15 is the Spurs. The Spurs, I feel like after Wembanyama, you have Kellen Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sochan. But that team is still not good enough. Victor Wembanyama, he can do everything you want him to do, but it won't be enough for them to make some noise in the West. So at the bottom. So to rewind, I got Nuggets 1, Suns 2, Lakers 3, Clippers 4, Warriors 5, Timberwolves 6, uh, Kings 7, Pelicans 8, Mavericks 9, Grizzlies 10, Thunder 11, Rockets 12, Jazz 13, Blazers 14, and the Spurs 15.
Okay, okay, goodness, that's not a bad list. I mean, honestly, I think you only said like one thing I took note to. You said Anthony Edwards is the best shooting guard in the league.
Been said that.
I think it's still Book though. I think Devin Booker probably the best shooting guard in the league. But I do think Anthony Edwards like has the more complete game. He has the better defense, but like offense just so overwhelming. But going into my list though for the West standings is always, the Nuggets. I think those guys are still the guys to beat, best team in the league. Number two, I got the Suns because honestly that three-headed dragon is ridiculous. The blue eyes white dragon. Number three, I'm gonna go ahead with the Timberwolves. I think they're gonna be a super, super good team. I think honestly, depth wise and youth is on their side. We're gonna actually see Cat. I think Cat only played like 27 some games last season, so I don't think that happens again. We're gonna actually see them play more. I got the Kings in number four because honestly, they're still gonna be a super fast team to beat. I think this Sabonis hand isn't gonna mess up. Fox, they're gonna be just as good. I got the Mavs at number five. I actually believe in them. I think this is the best team Luka played with, roster wise. Then I got the Lakers at six. Because honestly, I just don't know if I'm still gonna get LeBron James putting up 29 points a game. OKC, because I think they're gonna just click. They were right there last season. Then I got the Grizzlies at eight. I got the Warriors at ninth, and I got the Clippers at 10. So it's a little shaky right there. The West is real hard. A lot of people ain't making it this season.
I mean, that sounds about right. Like the only team that probably be questioned is you didn't have the Pelicans in there.
Oh yeah, because I had them at like eight, but then again, I just don't know with Zion. I just don't know. And I think like that's the biggest. And then outside of not knowing what Zion, I was looking at Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram misses a lot of games too. Like they're both pretty young and they both deal with like a lot of like injuries that keep them off of the court. And it's like I don't think outside of like missing Brandon Ingram and missing Zion, they have enough talent on that roster to keep winning games. So, because I think Brandon Ingram played like what 54 games, 57. That's simply not enough. And then
Pelicans actually have a lot of talent.
you say the Pelicans have a lot of talent.
Yes, they actually have some really
I
good
think, yeah,
players.
I think
Yes.
I think they got a lot, but I don't think it's enough in the West. I think that it's going to really matter. And honestly, I just don't know. I don't know about Zion. It's not enough. Zion's ability, what he does on the court, is not enough to just say, "Oh, he's going to make it." No, I have to see it. I have to see, like just with Joel the past two seasons. The injury bug hasn't been a thing. I would like to see the same thing with Zion. So I'm not giving
So,
it them.
so basically, you think he will miss time?
Yeah, I think you will. I think you will. Honestly, I'm going off of history. History says he starts off explosive, hot. Something happened. He has to sit out. Questions if he coming back by January. We like, oh, he ain't coming. Then Brandon Ingram, something happens with him. Now it's left to CJ and Jonas. I think Herb Jones, Trey Murphy. Then Trey Murphy like pull his what did he do?
He uh he tore his meniscus, but that was kind of in the summer, so he's supposed to come back probably
March.
maybe hell no, that was in the summer. No,
I
he's
thought it was like
supposed
the middle of the summer.
no.
So what you?
A meniscus only is like 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, I'm
You
not. I'm
said
not.
March.
Yeah, March.
That was in August.
Um, yeah,
Yes, he probably come back maybe late November, somewhere in December.
with
Because
Trey
March
Murphy
is a
coming
long
back
time.
though, that's Trey Murphy isn't like, oh yeah, we're gonna win way more games. I
But
mean,
Trey Murphy is
he's a
very
good
act.
player.
He's a really good 3 and D guy though.
I don't think that's enough in the West to still put you in that playoff play-in spot. No, I'm not. No, I'm not falling for that bait. Not at all.
Then why you
Yeah,
got the Clippers then?
Clippers, because I think honestly that team depth wise, and then you still got like Paul George, Kawhi.
They get hurt too.
Those guys, they're older though. The difference between them guys missing games, they're older. They started off like playing and getting there. Like they solidified themselves. Then once they got older, then they started missing games. With the Pelicans, it's like their two guys are young and they're getting injured and missing games. That's not a good sign. You don't get healthier as you get older. So it's like I'm gonna respect them going in. Paul George looked amazing in the preseason. Zion as well, but I'm taking Clippers over Pelicans any day. You got a two times Finals MVP, and you had a one person that was like MVP caliber. So like, no, I'm not. I'm not putting Zion them over the Clippers. Fuck no. All right,
You got
I'll
the
run through.
Mavericks. You got the Mavericks in there.
Yeah, I'll
Pod
run
too.
through again and keep it short. So Nuggets at 1, Suns at 2, Timberwolves at 3, Kings at 4, Mavs at 5, Lakers at 6, OKC at 7, Grizzlies at 8, Warriors at 9, Clippers at 10.
No respect for the Warriors, huh?
Honestly, I think that honestly, I don't know. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that old man roster. I don't believe in that roster. I think it's gonna be hard to get through an 82 season game with that. It's gonna be really hard getting through the season with that age. Like we seen last season, Draymond had like he was good again, but I don't know if that can happen again. And then you're gonna need Wiggins. Like Wiggins was pretty mediocre last season, even though he missed a lot of games. You're gonna need more than 17 and 5 rebounds from him. And you kind of needed Poole. You kind of needed Poole a lot. It's like now Jonathan Kuminga has to. He really has to like take that step and be who they believe he can be. So I think they think if they could get through the season, they can make a crazy playoff run. But it's an 82 game season. The NBA season is not short. It is.
So, so we need Wiggins to average 20 some points.
I mean, you had Poole averaging 20 some points, and look what they did. You probably need Wiggins to average 23.
That's a lot. Not gonna lie.
I mean, he's
That
a,
is a lot.
honestly, he's probably really their second best player. He's their second best
He's
player.
never averaged 23 in his career. Never.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, he's their second best player. You could say like Clay and Steph, but it's Clay has hit that age mark and he's not who he used to be. If Wiggins is the second best player, he has to average more than 17. It has to be a 20. If Poole was averaging 20 and now he's gone, Wiggins just, you have to. It has to be. Clay can average 18, 20, 19, but Wiggins has to average more than 17.
I mean, if I can get Clay Thompson to do what he did last year, give me 21. If Wiggins, if he can give me 20, I'm cool with that. Chris Paul, he might give me maybe 15, I guess.
How many
I'm
games
okay
Chris
with that.
Paul getting you? That's the number with
I don't
Chris
know.
Paul. I think it's the games played with
I
him.
don't know because he gets hurt every year. So I don't know. Last year he only played 59 games. If he can give me 60, I'm cool with that. I'm fine with 60 something.
I think his minutes was kind of cut off too from like last season too. He wasn't
He
running
played
that
32 minutes.
32 minutes. Yeah, that's all
I
right.
mean, but he is old.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want him out there playing 37 minutes. I don't want that.
Uh,
Chris Paul is freaking what is he, 38? Yeah, he's 38.
mm,
He's 38 years old. I don't want him out there playing 37 minutes. 30 minutes. If do I think he played? Honestly, he might play maybe 27, maybe 30, if anything, but 32? Nah, I don't want him out there.
I don't think Chris
Last year
Paul.
he averaged 13 and 9. I mean, if he can get that, I'm fine with that. Because
I
I ain't
don't
got
think
to
he's
ask
gonna
him
be
out
as
there to
effective.
be scoring all the time.
I
That's
don't
not
think
his
he's gonna
job.
be as effective this year. Honestly, I think because like he's slower. The shot, like I don't see it. Like he's gonna have to become like some type of a finishing around the rim. He isn't that good anymore. Honestly, the mid range shot is still there, but it's like he's gonna really have to be taking that three ball. He's gonna have to really be taking that three ball a lot more. And I don't
That ain't
think,
his game, though. That's the
ex-
crazy part. That's not even his game.
but that's the Warrior system.
I know.
So
That's
it's
not his
like
game.
I don't really see it. That's why I got them so low. Like I do think Steph is gonna probably have to average another like 29, 28 this season points. So it's gonna be crazy.